Today we're going to be doing another house. If you didn't see the thumbnail, it's on screen now. As you can tell, it's kind of intricate, but it does look kind of cool, and also as well it is pretty simple, so don't worry too much if you're worried about how to do this. Obviously I'll be showing you this in this video, so yeah, let's crack on. So I'll give you the colours or the blocks you're going to be using for this build. Using two different sandstones here. You're going to be using the smooth sandstone and the yeah, as you can tell, sort of textured sandstone. So tell there is a difference between the two. We're going to need that as well, purely because there's a lot of heavy detail at the front of the house. You're going to need brick slabs. You're not going to need the sort of bricks as in the blocks, sort of the bigger blocks like this. You're not going to need them at all. It's just purely on slabs. We're going to need one button for this build. You need blocks of iron, which is just, you're going to need 3 of these. Actually no, you need about 6 or 7 of these in total probably. Glass, not a lot of this either, and obviously a little bit of detailing as well with those oak sleeves. So without further ado, let's crack on. Obviously going to grab some doors as well, to be honest. And let's go for these. Yeah, that'll do. Oak doors. Have a look what else we got here. Door. A jungle door, maybe? It's like a jungle door. What do they look like? Yeah, I'm going to go for a jungle door. So, let's start off with 2 blocks like so. So we're going to put 1, 2. I should start off with 1 block of smooth sandstone. After that we're going to come up 3 in total, and come along 3 in total. 4 actually. So just so it's snug, so 2 doors can fit in the foreground of this beauty as well. So what we can do as well, so probably switch to sort of a gravel maybe. Yeah, nice bit of gravel. Oh. Right, where's it going to go? Just a little bit coming out of the house, just to indicate where the front of the house is, like so. And obviously the back of the blocks, not on the front like so. You're going to map the back like that. Need your doors like so. There we go. So something like that. Once you've done that as well, what we can do is we're actually going to come out 1 away from the block with our with our sandstone, which obviously has a texture on. Again, we're going to come to the same level, like so. And the same thing again, we're going to come to the same level, and then miss a gap, same level, and then miss a gap. So you want 3 columns like so. We're going to grab a smooth sandstone block as well, and we're going to put one just in the bottom, but slightly raised, as you can see, like so, just slightly raised. Why? You'll see why in a minute. Don't worry too much. So after you've done that, we can actually just add a couple of panes of glass, or sort of a couple of cubes of glass, so 2 at the top like so. After we've done that, it's pretty much easy. What we're going to be doing is just making sort of a triangle all the way up with our smooth sandstone, like so. Nothing too biggy. Obviously a lot of the detailing will come in with that beautiful sort of slab, so don't worry too much about that either. Okay, so the best thing probably to do now is just build onto the garage. So we're going to switch back to our smooth sandstone. We're going to come to the same height. We're going to come back into the same level as the front door. Let's come up 3. Then we're going to grab our iron. We're going to come along 3. 1, 2, 3. And come up 3 in total. Something that looks like this. Again, the same thing again with your sandstone. Come up to the same column like that. And again, just build a small triangle like so. So what we're going to do now is pretty much just add the side of a house. You can go as mad as you want. So for me, I'm probably only going to come back an extra, what was I going to say, about an extra 6 in total added onto this. So it'll be 7 including the front bit. So 3, 6, 7. And then I'm just going to come along ever so slightly and just make sure that there's a nice little hallway for this house like this. Now don't worry too much about the inside bit, because obviously when you come in here you're like, oh, where do I go? Obviously don't worry about too much of that at the moment. Same thing on this side as well. I'm just going to build a small garage. That's probably going to come equally the same length as well. So you can just eyeball that up. Like so. Sorry about this as well. Let that clear. Excuse me. There we go. Okay, we'll open up to land. So as you can tell, they are the same sort of inwards depth as they are. Obviously this main bit as well is obviously going to be a bit in as well, but this will open up to the back of this, so we can just extend this across, and shortly after that you can just remove these blocks. We're not going to just yet though, purely because we need to add a few extra bits in this. So obviously in the back layer here, as you can tell, there's a missing bit. It's going to run our smooth sandstone all the way along as well. This is purely because it gives the actual inner space here look like there's something here. You can put plant pots along up here on the windowsill, which we'll do in a minute. But also from the front as well is now sort of less exposed from the inside, sort of like little cubby holes, which look kind of nice. So yeah, we're actually just going to start cracking on with our roofing. So the easiest way to do is probably just build out from every other thing. You know what I mean by that? It's just building away and out from this. And obviously with the top half here, what we're going to do is just keep extending this all the way through. So for instance, probably just going to keep coming out like so. Just keep making sure it's extended all the way through like this. Actually just going to make that a 1, like so. A 1. Yeah, like that. There we go. Whoa, 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 what happened there? There we go. Beautiful. Yeah, you want obviously to keep that triangle shape there. So you're trying to keep following that all the way through. So obviously to the top there, you want to do exactly the same thing on the other half coming down now. So if you're just a little bit stuck like I was just then, just mimic it. Like so. Again the same. Just come along, your ones and your 2s. Follow that up again. There we go. Should have something that looks like this. You can go as mad as you want on this roofing, it doesn't particularly matter too much, just make sure it doesn't look too bulky. Like this top half here, which I probably might need to deduct a few blocks on this. Maybe. Yeah, let's just get a little bit bulky on this. Let's get a little bit, let's add an extra 1 on each of them. Because why not? Yeah, that'll do. That looks cool. So obviously snip some of that back to there. Just give it a little bit more detailing. Yeah, that's cool. So just play around with the roofing. Pretty much just want to follow the back end of the sort of shape itself. And you can actually just bring that all the way through the main interior. But we're not going to do that just yet because obviously we're going to be focusing on the next sort of back bit of the thing. So we're going to leave out the garage here. So don't worry about the garage too much, forget that bit. We're going to be focusing on these 2 squares. We're actually going to build that up with our smooth sandstone. So we're just going to follow this up with our smooth sandstone. So just come all the way up here. Actually just build it on the existing blocks as well, but just away. So for instance like this. So I still want to keep that shape and that pattern, but you just want to build the rest of it in the foreground as well. Like so. Build it in the foreground. You can go as high as you want with this. I wouldn't recommend going too ballsy though, if I'm perfectly honest. And as well, you can go as high as you like on the sides. Probably only going to go about 3 or 4 though, if I'm honest. So again, just going to come up to the same level. See a bit of a thing. There we go. The real detailing comes in when this bit is built. And it crosses over to everything else. Obviously we did exactly the same thing this side as well. Obviously because this is the main part of the house. Don't worry about those doors, I know everyone's freaking about those doors at the moment. So we can push this back a little bit as well, because why not? So yeah, just want to make sure there's a difference between the sort of front and the back. Just make sure there's loads of different foregrounds and everything else, just makes it look so much nicer. We're going to build it up to this height. I'll give you the exact measurements in a minute. So we're going to come up in total 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in total. There's a lot of 7s in this build. There we go. Obviously the garage is not going to be that high, but we might have something in the foreground that will place something that high. Not sure yet. We'll see how it goes. After we've done that, what we're going to do is grab from the back end here. We're actually going to come up and we're just going to add a little bit more detail. So we're just going to follow this all the way up. So just do your 2s for the time being. Just follow it with the 2s all the way along, like so. If you need to take anything out, make sure you do that. There we go. Let's add a little smooth sandstone in there, because why not? And then after that, just sort of add your 1s onto the edges here. Go mental as you like with the roofing, doesn't particularly too much matter. There we go. Yeah, that's fine. I'm going to follow that all the way up as well to make another triangle. like so. Why not? And then I'm going to come back down, possibly with the same shape, and build it along down as well. So yeah, all I can say, this is probably the best thing to do with this is just experiment. There we go. Something like that. That'll do. That's beautiful. That looks good. I also need to come back and cut this one in maybe. 3, 2, 2. Yeah, make sure it's all even as well. 2, 2, 2. Cut that one out. That's fine. Deal with that. Maybe just 1 up. So it needs to be 2 up. So it needs to be a 4 as well. 2 up to cover that. Yep. Okay, cool. So the difference, you obviously need to have foregrounds, backgrounds and everything else. So obviously you can fill these bits in if you like. It's entirely up to you. I might for the time being, but obviously you need a difference between obviously stuff being there and not being there. Which is kind of cool. It doesn't matter if it's too uneven as well. It's kind of nice that it's not even. So it just makes it look a little bit more retro. So just go as ham skews as you like. We're gonna go back to there, maybe down. See how it goes. Yeah, I'm cool with that. Yeah, nice. Okay, cool. So yeah, pretty much happy with that. So after you've done that, it's pretty much just a case of flat roofing it, or you can extend it again, it's entirely up to you, or circling it, which I kind of like circle roof, which is pretty much just coming one out from everything. Obviously not from this bit, because this bit is done just generally. So don't worry about that too much. Same thing with the garage, you can either come all the way up to the same level. I'm not going to, because that would just look stupid. It's going to come along and flat it off with your standard sort of smooth sandstone, and then add some fancy brick to it, like so. Add some brick, just round, it doesn't really matter. You can extend this round as well, maybe add some flare, which I think I'll do, because why not? Add some flare round. It's a pretty abstract building, so let's add some like so. Obviously not one just random one sticking there, that would just look weird. I'll follow this around, maybe one underneath. Yeah, I like that. One underneath. Yeah, one in the middle, why not? Is that the middle? There's going to be 2, isn't there? Yeah, 2 in the middle, like so. Same thing on this side as well. Just chop and change, go mental. Doesn't really matter. Like so. Again, follow it around. Yeah, there we go. There we have it. So obviously the rest of that you can just fill in the top half there with your slabs. Or you could fill it in with your bricks. Your actual block maybe. Probably switch to a block, that might be better. Like so. Just to add a little bit more texture as well. Might look a little bit lumpy, but you know, it looks pretty good. It's pretty slick to me. I like it. As you can tell, this house has a lot of character, so that's pretty cool. You could argue that it looks like a mess. I don't think it does. I think it looks pretty clean, to be totally fair. And then after you've done that, all you need to do is obviously add some gravel and just add a little bit of detail. So I'm just going to get a button for that garage door, because that's going to wind me up. Plonk it down the bottom there. There we go. Sort this out a little bit. There we go. Alright, what's going on here? Let's add an extra layer along there. Maybe one in here. Because why not? Yeah, okay, cool. So it's all about keeping stuff in the foreground and the background and sort of carrying that trim round. You can even follow this trim round if you like. With a little bit of trim. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, just follow the trim round, make sure it looks nice. It's all about sort of making your own trim, but just don't be afraid of just making sort of weird sort of retro houses. Like if you ask me to make this again, that is a possible no-no, purely because yeah, it's going to be very silly to make this again, because obviously it's all different. So that's the whole point. Bricks are nice to do it with as well. I wouldn't recommend using another block to do this with, because it could get very tricky in a sense of trying to coordinate where everything goes. The bricks are quite nice because they just seamlessly lock together. So after that, what we need to do is add a little bit of detail, like I said. So from the sides here, I'm just going to add just a couple of rows of leaves. Same thing on the other side as well. Let's get that time back up and everything else. There you go, a couple of leaves around there. Same thing on this side as well. Like so. Beautiful. And obviously after that, you can just leave a patch of grass in between all of these sort of struts here. Take that out, like so. 2 bits there, yeah, why not? Keep them there. Add your gravel. Like so. There we go, beautiful. And yeah, that's pretty much it. You know, if you want to add more gravel coming out, that's cool. Which I probably will do, but I'll leave that for the thumbnail. But apart from that, that is going to be it, guys. So hopefully you guys did enjoy. Maybe add some fence come out from this. So it looked pretty cool actually. Might do that. Cut down gravel. Yeah, maybe add some fence on this side here. Or even just some more trees. Like so. So yeah, there we go. So obviously just be creative, just go mental. For the issue that's in your house, don't worry about that too much. You can just carve your way in here. Have it as tall, as large as you like. It doesn't particularly matter. As you can tell, you've got quite a nice space in here. Again, you can fill the floor in with whatever you want. Let's go for this wood because why not? It's a bit quirky. And yeah, there you go. So obviously, if you did enjoy this video, guys, so it wasn't a great tutorial, but you know, it was kind of just teaching the methods of you can just make some ridiculously funky, awesome houses, and they do look pretty swish. I mean, just like look at that. Like you don't know how, you don't even know how. You know, look at that. Doesn't that look cool? It looks weird though, doesn't it? But it looks cool at the same time. Maybe add like, you know, you could add sort of some more slabs here. Just extend it round, you know. Go crazy. But yeah, guys, hopefully you did enjoy. If you did, hit me up with that like and that comment. But until the next one, guys, Killer Kev here, and Killer Kev out.